Okay, I'm just about to take delivery of my Frank smoke exhaust, handmade in Peru. That's going to be delivered tomorrow, and I'm going to go through and fit that. And I'm also expecting delivery of my 12-inch rear wheel for my Navi. Obviously 12-inch on the front, 10-inch on the rear, and I'm going to be upgrading it to a 12-inch. I've already got my tyre ready and waiting, but I thought I'd just give you a bit of a walk around of my Navi as it is at the moment. Obviously it's a 2024 new Navi, just released in Australia. I got it standard, and as is my habit, I've modified the hell out of it already. So I guess we'll start from the top and work our way down. First thing I did was I put the yellow film on the headlight. I'm a long time bike rider, and anything you can do to make your bike stand out, make it look a bit different on the road, is only a good thing for you, because you're less likely to get hit by Mr. I'm asleep behind the wheel car driver. So just some simple yellow film that you can get from any sticker store, headlight film, and stick it on. I also did, as you can see down here, the cafe style side light. So as you turn it on, you get the yellow side light and you get the yellow headlight. Looks quite distinctive. You will need to do the DC conversion, the AC to DC conversion, which is just a simple wire. There's plenty of videos on YouTube as to how to do that. Simple wire behind here, run it up to the third fuse in a fuse box. Just Google it, you'll see it. So that's the lights, so yellow lights. Then I saw some adverts for a bikini fairing. I've seen a lot of little top windscreen fairings for a Navi, and to be honest, I didn't really like many of them until I saw this one. And so I did a hunt. I found this is a Ducati Scrambler bikini fairing, and I found it on AliExpress for the princely sum of 18 Australian dollars delivered. So I got one of those, and all I did was I drilled 2 holes, one each side of the headlight cowl. As you can see, I put a nut behind the fitting screw to space it out a little bit, and then a washer and a nut on the inside, and it just leans back and sits just nicely on the top of the clocks there, and I think makes it look, it's a nice look. And the grey, I'm still unsure about the grey, but we'll see. I might paint it. Okay, said I'd work from the top down, so that's at the top. Then we've got the handlebars. So I swapped out the standard multi-story handlebars for a nice set of Pro Tabor KLX 110 bars. They go on really good, they're a nice width. I swapped out the standard throttle for a Domino quick action throttle. I'm used to using Domino quick action throttles, and I like them a lot. In fitting this, I had to change out the start button. This is actually a kill switch, but wired into the system. It works perfectly just like a normal start button. Obviously colour matched hand grips to my Cheeky Seats seat cover. I've had Susie at Cheeky Seats make me one of these for my Grom a while back. I love the quality. It turns up, you fit it, you forget about it, and you never have to worry about it again. It also adds an extra little bit of padding to the seat, and looks pretty awesome, especially matched with the grips, and also the colour of the wheels. I'll get to the wheels in a minute. I did take the grab handle off for a little while, and then I put it back on. I felt it made the back look a bit bare. I've got a Krieger US 5 tail pack just to hold my gear. I bought the Mustang style rear headlight. I know there's a few sellers online selling them. You can pick these up from AliExpress really cheap. It's got the, it's got the integrated indicators, so looks really nice. They don't fit particularly well. It leaves a big gap here and a big gap here, but you'll see I've put some sticky back foam in here to fill this in. and I've just put some double-sided, sorry, it's just some gaffer tape in here, like Gorilla Tape, and I just painted it black, and it looks pretty good, works really well. Alright, so still working from the top down. What have we got? We have the front indicators. So I took off the stock indicators, and I changed it for these. Again, these were bought from AliExpress. Nice and simple, a lot smaller, a lot neater, worked really nicely, so easy to see. And while we're at it, I'll show you the rear light, which works really nice. Still working our way down. I changed the front mudguard. I took the massive mudguard off, and again I got this from AliExpress. It's just a cheap scrambler type mudguard, and I made up a couple of little L brackets to hold it that literally just screw up behind this little panel here. You take off the standard bolts, there you go, and it bolts straight up, nice and easy. Okay, where are we going next? Working our way down. I guess the next thing we'll probably come to is the rear shock. I don't know if this YSS rear shock is actually any better than the standard one, but to be fair, it looks better. I didn't like the red spring. I did buy the 280mm shock because of the fact that I'm changing to the 12-inch rear wheel. But I've got an adapter on here. Again, that's from AliExpress. The YSS shock is from eBay, and it works all right. You know, this isn't a race bike. We're not expecting handling here. Intake. I've got a Nibby intake. I did buy the Nibby intake. It's a GY6 one, on somebody's recommendation, and that works really well. Goes straight on the carb, and got the foam filter. The foam filter I got locally at MX store shop. I'm going to change it. I did buy another one, but it's the wrong size, so my bad. I need to change that up. Okay, still working our way down. Tyres. I've gone for the Honda K58 tyres, because I wanted a little bit more of an off-road look to the bike. As I say, I've got my 12-inch rear wheel arriving from a mate, Matty, up in Brisbane, who decided to go a different direction. I've already got my new tyre ready to go on it, so that's that. I puffed the wheels over with some bronze wheel paint, and I reckon they look pretty good. They go certainly very well with the grips and the seat. I do have, as I say, I do have the smoke exhaust coming. That should arrive, I'm hoping, tomorrow, or certainly within the next couple of days. I've ordered a jet kit. I'm running the standard carb, but I've ordered a jet kit for that. I'm going to run it without as it is to see how it is. I'm at sea level here in Australia, and Melbourne. Probably I'm considering the 38 main and the 38 pilot and the 88 main jet, but we'll see how that goes. Down to the variator and the clutch, from AliExpress. Again, I love a bit of AliExpress. I bought the what is it called? I don't even remember what it was called. Oh no, actually I might have got that from Steady Garage. The clutch bell, just a nicer looking clutch bell. You can see I obviously cut out the CVT trans case cover just to expose that. I've put 1000 RPM springs in the clutch, and I've also upgraded to the yellow contra spring, and in the CVT I've bought 13 gram rollers, and I'm 84 kilos. What's that, about 180 pounds, and yeah, it gets me off the line pretty well, and I get an indicated, you know, over 50, over 80 kilometers an hour on the speedo, and that does me fine. I'm not looking to win any races on this little thing. It is what it is. It's just a little poodle around town. I did also buy, didn't really go from the top down completely, did I? I did also buy a Suron rear mudguard. There are places selling these for like loads of money, but this was like $8 again from AliExpress, and I just made up a simple bracket, which is basically a piece of steel with a hole in it there to bolt on the back of the starter mount, and 2 holes there so you can mount the actual mudguard, and then painted it black with a couple of screws. Seems to work quite well. And one of the biggest changes I made to the bike, probably, and the last thing I'll talk about right now, is the fact that I took off all the lower plastics. So that's all removed, and I think looks really good. One thing I will say, if you're going to take your plastics off, in fact I encourage you to anyway, because when I did, it exposed all of this area here, and it was rusty. There were, like with a 1-month-old Navi, there were rust spots all around the welds, so I just puffed those over with a bit of black paint, a zinc black paint, just to make sure that they didn't get any worse, because I didn't want that to get worse over the years. The exhaust is going to be a really easy job to change. I'll do a video for that. I'll incorporate it into this. We've got 2 what look like 10mm bolts up there. We've got a couple of bracket bolts there to mount the exhaust to the exhaust mount, and then that'll be away, and then we'll drop the smoke in. The smoke is going to be a slightly more high rise, so it'll come up here, and it'll make this foot peg look a little bit less like it's sticking out, and of course the rear wheel. Oh my god, well, it's a day later, 2 days later, and my 12-inch wheel arrived. So I shot it with some gold paint to match the front wheel. Say hello to Bo. Bo, say hello. No, he's not interested. Oh, that's the paint I've used, by the way. And then I shot it with some acrylic clear. And then I thought I'd fit my tyre. Holy mother of God. I've fitted a few tyres in my time, racing over the years. Swapping tyres, you know, normally it's a 5-minute job with a compressor. With this seat on the bead, like, it was just incredibly hard. It took me an hour and 45 minutes probably to get it seated. I've bent the rim a little bit with the tyre iron. That's okay, it'll tap out. And eventually I've managed to get it to pop on the rim. Like, I don't know how many times I've attempted it with the compressor, and also with a manual pump. I just can't believe how long it's taken. Anyway, it is mounted the right way around. Somebody said I didn't mount the other one the right way around. I did. It's mounted the right way around. I've taken the 10-inch wheel off. She sits down there. Anybody wants a 10-inch wheel with a hard nail tyre on it, let me know. I'm in Australia. And so oh yeah, I'll show you where I shaved it. I shaved it with just there, shaved it with a flapper disc on a grinder, and gave it a little bit of space. Last time I tried the 12-inch in there, so let's get it in there. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. Give it a bit of a wiggle. Let's see if she's gonna go. She's gonna go. She's gonna go. All right. Okay. We are on the bolt. There. We're on. Okay. Wheels on. Just pop the nuts on. I got a notification to say that my Frank Smoke exhaust is due to be delivered tomorrow or Wednesday. So they keep you guessing, bless them. Anyway, tomorrow or Wednesday is the day, and then I'll show you the whole thing fully finished. Alright, so there you go. I do need to tighten up the wheel. which I shall do, and take it for a little bit of a test ride. Happy days. All right, it is a new day. This is day 3 of putting this video together. Been out and tested the 12-inch rear wheel. Yoo-hoo! What a change. You must do it. And what has now just arrived is my exhaust from Smoke Exhausts. And I am going to unwrap it. 1 second, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, that's that bit. Get rid of that. That's that bit done. I just wanted to take the plastic off because it's just a nightmare to do with one hand. I have not looked in the box yet. This is the box from Smoke. I just want to let you know that I am not sponsored in any way. This is just a video of an exhaust that I bought off my own bat because I didn't want to pay Yoshi or Hot Laps money, and I wanted something a bit more, a bit quieter, because as I understand they're quite noisy. So we have a pretty solid looking bracket. Actually, that is quite solid. I'll tell you what, I've got a couple of cheap Amazon exhausts up here that I bought for Groms, and the brackets you get with them are, yeah, they're not great. So, alright, we're already off to a good start. Good bracket. Decent packing. Free sticker. Could have done with some more stickers, Frank. And, oh, look at this. Well, I'm going to take out the pipes first. So, yeah, the pipe work looks alright. Nice welding on that. It's decent gauge steel as well. It's not cheap Chinese crap, as you know. We know there's a lot of Chinese stuff that comes out of here. Again, decent welding. This feels solid. This feels nice and heavy. Might do with a little polish in there. Got some spatter marks in there, but that's okay. We are not talking Formula 1 quality here. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. Good strengthening around here, so we shouldn't have any cracking problems. Good strengthening on the joint here. Nice. Another sticker. Let's chuck that down there for now. What have we got here? Well, this will be the mount bracket. This will be the exhaust mount bracket. Here. Again, you know, good solid quality steel. Decent welds. And let's see what the muffler looks like. Or as we call it, the silencer in the UK. Although I'm living in Australia, so I have to call it muffler because that's the word the Australians use. And all you Yanks. Hang on. Oh wow, yeah. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. All right, well, we've got the exhaust, the muffler, sorry. We've got the link pipe, and we've got the manifold, or the header pipe. I'll just figure out a way to mount my camera, and what we'll do is we will take you through the fitting process. 4 bolts. We've got 2 what look like 10mm bolts here that we're going to take off, and these look like 14mm. We'll take those off for the mounts, and we should be laughing. Back in a sec when I've just figured out a way to mount my camera. Okay. Yeah, this will work. Makes it a bit difficult for me. I've actually got this on a cap mount, and I've got it right underneath my face. So anyway, let's get the sockets I think I need. Header bolts and get them out. That's one. Hope you can see through there okay. That's two. Done. 14 was alright. It is a 14. Let's take off the lower bracket mount. And let's get this one undone. Twice tight. Okay. Just take the weight off of this because that's the only thing holding the weight of it now. And she is out. And she is off. One Navi exhaust. And do you know what? Just for interest, let's see how much weight we lose. So let's just how am I best to do this? Hang that on there. And we are 4.72 kilos. All right. Probably going to need that little gasket. And let's just chuck this on the bench for now. And come back to here. Alright, I need to figure out a way to weigh this. 1 second, I'll be back. Okay, I've just kind of hung it together for now. So let's see if I can get a weight on this. Cool, okay, I can do that. Let's hang that. So the smoke exhaust. Where's the difference for you? 1.82 kilo, 1.86 kilos. Happy days. That is minus the bracket and minus the mount. Well, let's say they weigh half a kilo. So even so, it's half the weight of the standard exhaust. Cool. Let's pop that back up here and carry on with fitting. Right, 1 sec. Okay, I'm just gonna stick this little gasket back up in here, just with a little bit of RTV, just so it stays in place while I put the main pipe on. Don't forget to do that, because that'll stop your exhaust sealing if you don't do it. Okay, pop on the exhaust. The header or the manifold. And screw that bad boy up. I'm just going to do a finger tight for now until I get everything else mounted up. Maybe a little bit more than finger tight, but we're just gonna. All right, that's that there, that's that there. Okay, the hanger actually means you have to take out this screw here as well. So I did just loosen it. I'm assuming this is the way it works. You're seeing this as I do it first time. and pop that in there, and there's a bit of a spacer on there, so it's definitely spaced out to work that way. We'll pop in the original 14mm bolt. Make sure you can see everything I'm doing. Okay. Do that baby up nice and tight, and then we'll just snug up this little nut here. Don't want to go too much because it's only an 8mm, and it's going into alley as well, so just enough so that you feel it bite. And then let's see what we get. So we'll take this out, and I'm not quite sure which way around this is going to go yet. Pop that on there. It's a good fit. That is a good fit. Oh yeah, okay. Up nice and high. I'm just going to get my spring puller to pull that spring on. And we'll just pull that bad boy over. Wait. He's on. Cool. Okay. So this is going to go this way round and that way, I assume. And hold that nice and tight. It would be nice if it was it goes that way around. Maybe let's try that, see if it holds it off a bit. Yeah, that's a shame. It's kind of covering up the logo. Slide the bolt through it and see, but it is kind of covering up the logo. We'll just put those on just to secure it for now. And now that's snugged up, I will get those bottom header bolts done up. Of course I can't get to that one, typical. Let's do that one up. It would help if I had the right size socket on there. That's it. All right, what size we got here? 13. Of course it's a 13. And let's tighten this puppy up. All right, well, there we go. That's what it looks like on the bike. Nice and tucked in. Nice and tucked in, actually. Really pleased with that. Up through behind here. Might just have to ease that up a bit. Oh, that's metal pipe anyway, so that's okay. fitted up underneath there, remembering to put in the original gasket. I guess let's give it a start. Now the bike is freezing cold, but we'll see how we go. One thing I did notice, I have to say, is that when I took out the exhaust, it was very black, and I'm running the Nibby intake. So even with the Nibby intake and the standard exhaust, it was running pretty rich. Let's see what we get here. I have removed the side stand switch, by the way, so it will start with the side stand down. Brake lever still needs to be pulled in. Well, that started better than it ever has, but I don't think I've got it quite sealed on there well enough yet. Let's have another go sealing it up. Bike with a smoke exhaust on it. Super good quality. Just love this. And sounds really good. Listen to this.